Karen was a lively woman with an unyielding belief in keeping her neighborhood tidy. She had a sparkle in her eye and a bright smile that made her neighbors feel welcome, but beneath that cheerful exterior was a fierce warrior for cleanliness. Each morning, she would sip her coffee while gazing out her front window, admiring the neatly trimmed lawns and colorful flower beds. However, her gaze often fell on the unsightly trash and recycling bins that lingered on the curbs long past collection day. For Karen, these bins were not just containers, they were eyesores that tarnished the beauty of her beloved street. She believed that trash should vanish without a trace, leaving behind only the pristine charm of her community. Fueled by this passion, she decided it was time to take action. With a determined heart, Karen launched a crusade aimed at banning the practice of leaving bins out too long. Her friends and family admired her zeal, even those who weren't as passionate about cleanliness couldn't help but be drawn into her mission. Karen organized neighborhood meetings to discuss the issue, educating others about the impact of littered bins on their environment and community spirit. With printed flyers in hand, she walked up and down the streets, rallying support and encouraging others to join her cause. Every weekend, equipped with her notepad and camera, she began patrolling the area, documenting any offenses she saw. Whether it was an overflowing recycling bin or a trash can tipped over by the wind, Karen made sure to take note. Her quirky yet earnest approach quickly turned heads, and soon everyone knew that when it came to trash, Karen meant business. Little did she know that her mission would soon take an unexpected turn on a windy afternoon. As Karen's passion for cleanliness grew stronger, she realized she couldn't tackle this issue alone. With her heart set on making a difference, she organized a community meeting at the local park. The sun was shining brightly, and the scent of blooming flowers filled the air as neighbors gathered to hear her speak. Karen stood at the front, her enthusiasm contagious as she passionately shared her concerns about discarded bins cluttering their streets. "I believe our neighborhood can be even more beautiful," she declared, her voice ringing with conviction. "Together, we can tackle this problem." Karen laid out her plan for a community initiative. She suggested forming a trash brigade to patrol the streets after collection days, encouraging neighbors to keep an eye out for any bins left lingering on curbs. She handed out colorful flyers that explained how unsightly trash bins not only hurt the neighborhood's appearance but also attracted pests and created a sense of disorder. To her delight, many neighbors nodded in agreement, some even offering to join her patrols. They exchanged phone numbers and ideas on how to remain vigilant together. Inspired by Karen's energy, families began to volunteer, eager to help make their community shine. Every Saturday morning, they would meet at a designated spot, equipped with notepads and cameras. They walked through the streets, ready to document any violations. Karen led by example, enthusiastically taking notes while encouraging others to speak up if they spotted neglected bins. As they walked, laughter filled the air, people began sharing stories of their own trash encounters. With each new supporter, Karen felt more empowered. The sense of unity in their mission created an uplifting atmosphere in the neighborhood. She knew they were starting something special, this crusade was just getting underway. Little did she know that adventure awaited them on one particular windy day. With the trash brigade formed, Karen felt a surge of determination as she set out on her mission to document any offenders who left their trash bins out too long. Armed with her notepad and camera, she walked the streets with her fellow brigade members every Saturday, eager to fulfill their commitment to a cleaner neighborhood. As they patrolled, Karen took her role seriously. She would stop in front of each house, inspecting the area for any signs of neglect. When she spotted a bin left on the curb past collection day, she quickly jotted down notes about the address, the date, and even snapped a photo for evidence. Nothing escaped her keen eye, whether it was an overflowing recycling bin or a can tipped over by the wind, she documented it all. Her friends admired her dedication. Sometimes they would tease her about her detective skills, but Karen simply smiled, knowing that she was doing this for the greater good. She believed that each note and photo might help change behaviors in the community and encourage everyone to take pride in their surroundings. As they walked, Karen shared her findings with others in the brigade, discussing ways to approach neighbors who might not be aware of how their actions affected the neighborhood's appearance. They considered creating friendly reminder letters to slip into mailboxes or even planning a community day where everyone could work together to tidy up. The more they documented, the more engaged the brigade became. Karen felt a sense of accomplishment growing within her as she realized that their efforts were sparking conversations in the community about cleanliness and responsibility. Each week brought new challenges and discoveries. Little did she know that her next challenge would come when an unexpected gust of wind turned a simple patrol into a comical adventure that would capture everyone's attention. On a breezy afternoon, the sun shone brightly, and the trees danced gently in the wind, creating a picturesque day for a neighborhood patrol. Karen and her brigade were out in full force, ready to tackle any trash bin offenders. As they strolled along the sidewalk, laughter echoed among them, and spirits were high. However, the playful gusts of wind began to pick up strength. Suddenly, Karen spotted it, a recycling bin that had tipped over on the curb, its contents spilling onto the pavement like a colorful confetti explosion. Her heart raced as she recognized the address. It belonged to a neighbor who had repeatedly left their bins out too long. Without thinking twice, she shouted to her brigade, "I'll get it," and took off after the runaway bin. As she dashed down the street, her ponytail whipped behind her like a banner of determination. The wind howled around her, almost as if it were trying to thwart her mission. She zigzagged through the gusts, dodging stray papers and plastic bottles that danced around her feet. The bin seemed to have a mind of its own, rolling away awkwardly as if it were trying to escape. "Come back here." Karen called out breathlessly, her eyes fixed on the rebellious bin that was now racing ahead. Just as she reached for it, a sudden gust caught her off guard, knocking her off balance. In that split second, Karen stumbled forward, arms flailing as she tried to regain her footing. With a comedic thud, she fell straight into the bin. Laughter erupted from her brigade members who witnessed the scene unfold. Little did they know that this unexpected moment would soon be captured on a nearby Ring camera, turning Karen's clumsy chase into a viral sensation. The afternoon sun continued shining down on the neighborhood while Karen found herself in quite an amusing predicament. As Karen sprinted after the wayward recycling bin, her heart raced with determination. She could almost hear the triumphant theme music playing in her head as she envisioned herself saving the day. However, just as she reached out to grab the bin, a fierce gust of wind swooped in unexpectedly, catching her off guard. In that split second, the world seemed to tilt. The bin teetered precariously, and Karen's feet slipped on the uneven pavement. She felt a rush of surprise as she flailed her arms in an attempt to regain her balance, but it was too late. With a laughable thud, she toppled forward and plummeted right into the depths of the recycling bin, her legs kicking comically in the air. The sight was nothing short of hilarious. Her ponytail flopped over her face, and she found herself surrounded by a jumbled mix of bottles and cans, all while trying to regain her composure. For a moment, everything around her was a blur of confusion and laughter. Karen's fellow brigade members burst into uncontrollable giggles, their laughter echoing through the street like music. "Karen," one of them shouted between fits of laughter. "Are you all right in there?" With her voice muffled by the contents of the bin, Karen responded with a mixture of disbelief and amusement. "I'm fine. Just taking a little break." While she attempted to wriggle herself out, the scene felt like a scene from a slapstick comedy, and the hilarity of it all only deepened as her friends pulled out their phones to capture the moment. Little did they know they were documenting something that would soon resonate with viewers everywhere. As Karen finally managed to stand up, covered in bits of recyclables, she couldn't help but laugh along with them. This was not how she imagined her day would go, but it was a moment that would surely become legendary in their neighborhood, a moment that would soon make its way onto social media, captivating everyone who saw it. Unbeknownst to Karen and her brigade members, the entire comical scene was being recorded by a neighbor's Ring camera positioned strategically by the front door. The moment Karen tumbled into the recycling bin was captured in vivid detail, showcasing not just the hilarity of her fall but also the spontaneous laughter of her friends surrounding her. As the video began to circulate, it caught the attention of everyone in the neighborhood and beyond. Karen's mishap made its way into group chats and social media feeds, with people eagerly sharing the clip titled, "Trash Takes Itself Out." The funny footage of her enthusiastic pursuit and unexpected fall resonated with viewers, reminding them how unpredictable life could be. Within hours, the video garnered a staggering amount of likes and comments. Viewers couldn't get enough of Karen's spirited attempt to save the bin, along with her bright optimism that she always carried, even in embarrassing situations. Comments flooded in, with many people joking about Karen's heroic dive into the bin and calling for a local award for her bravery in trash collection. The unexpected fame brought a wave of laughter throughout the community, as well as a newfound appreciation for Karen's efforts to keep their streets clean. Even those who had previously been indifferent to her crusade found themselves chuckling at the quirky image of their neighbor adorned in recyclables. Soon enough, local news picked up on the story. A light-hearted segment aired about Karen's adventure. Reporters shared how simple moments like this bring people together and highlight the humor that can often be found in everyday life. As she watched the clip go viral from her living room, Karen couldn't help but laugh alongside her new fans, realizing that sometimes, even mishaps could spark joy and create cherished memories within a community. Within just 2 days of being shared, the video titled, "Trash Takes Itself Out," skyrocketed to popularity, garnering over 1 million likes and drawing attention from people far beyond Karen's neighborhood. The clip's blend of humor and unexpectedness struck a chord with viewers everywhere, creating a wave of joy and laughter across social media platforms. Comments flooded in from all directions, with users sharing their own funny experiences and tagging friends to enjoy the light-hearted moment. Memes were created featuring Karen's enthusiastic chase, often captioned with phrases like, "When you take your recycling duties too seriously," and "This is why we can't have nice things." Each post added to the video's growing reach, making it a delightful phenomenon that brightened the days of countless people. Local news stations picked up the story, inviting Karen to share her experience on air. She smiled brightly as she recounted her epic tumble, laughing about how she had become an accidental star overnight. The media buzz only fueled the video's popularity, with interviews showcasing not just her fall but also her commitment to keeping the neighborhood clean. Viewers admired her spirit and resilience, applauding her for turning a clumsy moment into a heartfelt call for community responsibility. Karen's unexpected fame took on a life of its own. Talks of creating "Trash Takes Itself Out" merchandise began circulating within her community. Suddenly, it wasn't just about the video anymore, it was about celebrating cleanliness while enjoying a good laugh. As she scrolled through the comments from viewers expressing how much they loved her humor and positivity, Karen felt an overwhelming sense of connection with people everywhere. What started as a simple mission to tidy up the neighborhood turned into an extraordinary opportunity to inspire others while reminding everyone that sometimes, laughter is the best way to bring a community together. As the clip, "Trash Takes Itself Out," went viral, the reactions from neighbors varied widely, creating a lively buzz throughout the community. Many residents found the video absolutely hilarious, sharing it in group chats and on social media with gleeful laughter. Friends would tag each other, saying things like, "This is why we love Karen. Only she can turn trash duty into a comedy show." Laughter echoed through the streets as people replayed the funny moment of her charming fall, sparking spontaneous conversations filled with joy. However, the humor in Karen's mishap also prompted self-reflection among some neighbors. Many started to reconsider their own habits regarding trash bins. After watching Karen's video, several individuals admitted that they had left their bins out longer than necessary, realizing how it could clutter not just their own yards, but also disrupt the neighborhood's beauty. Some began chatting about a plan to synchronize their trash collection practices better, while others nudged each other to remember to bring in their bins promptly after pickup day. Even those who had previously been indifferent to Karen's cleanliness crusade found themselves engaging in discussions about community responsibility. The viral video became a catalyst for change. People now viewed cleanliness not just as a duty but as a shared commitment to preserving the neighborhood's charm. Local businesses seized the opportunity too. A nearby cafe displayed a sign that read, "Come for the coffee, stay for Karen's viral fame." The playful acknowledgement drew in more customers, who often chuckled at the connection between enjoying coffee and supporting community cleanliness. In essence, Karen's light-hearted fall resonated on multiple levels. While it evoked laughter for many, it also stirred a sense of responsibility in others. This unexpected blend of humor and reflection reinforced the idea that even funny accidents can spark meaningful conversations and strengthen community bonds. As Karen sat in her living room, scrolling through the endless stream of comments and messages from neighbors and viewers, she felt a whirlwind of emotions. The laughter and joy that surrounded her viral moment filled her heart with warmth, and she couldn't help but smile at how her accidental fall had resonated with so many people. She had never imagined that a simple pursuit of cleanliness would lead to such unexpected fame. While she embraced the humor of the situation, Karen also took a moment to reflect on what it all meant for her crusade. The attention had turned her initiative from a focused campaign into something much larger, a community movement that sparked meaningful conversations about trash habits, responsibility, and pride in their neighborhood. She realized that while helping others maintain a clean environment was important, connecting with them on a more personal level was equally valuable. With her newfound perspective, Karen approached her mission with renewed energy. She decided to incorporate more fun and engaging activities in her cleanliness efforts, like community cleanup days paired with local picnics or gatherings. The viral video had not only brought laughter but had also created an opportunity for connection, and she wanted to nurture that spirit. Additionally, Karen felt more connected to her neighbors than ever. Conversations that once revolved around trash bins now included laughter and shared stories about their own funny experiences. She saw them as allies in a shared vision rather than just residents who needed reminders. As she returned to her patrols with her brigade, Karen was determined to foster an environment where humor and teamwork thrived together. With each step, she carried the light-hearted essence of "trash takes itself out," using it as fuel to inspire change and strengthen their community bonds while reminding everyone that it's okay to embrace life's unpredictable moments. As Karen reflected on her journey, she recognized that the heart of her unexpected fame lay in the spirit of community and joy. Her quest to maintain a clean neighborhood had led not only to laughter but also to deeper connections with her neighbors. The incident with the recycling bin became more than just a funny mishap. It symbolized how everyday moments could bring people together and spark positive change. In a world often filled with stress and seriousness, Karen's experience was a bright reminder of the importance of laughter. It showed how humor could diffuse tension and create bonds that might have otherwise remained weak. This light-hearted moment transformed into an anthem for her crusade, illustrating that even in the pursuit of cleanliness, fun can coexist with responsibility. The overwhelming support from her community reinforced the idea that working together is essential. As neighbors shared their own stories inspired by Karen's fall, they realized that everyone has silly moments worth embracing. This shared laughter fostered a spirit of camaraderie, leading them to tackle cleanliness as a collective effort rather than an individual chore. Karen's mission evolved into one where joy took center stage. She organized events centered around cleanliness but infused with fun, trash-themed picnics where everyone would gather not just to clean but also to celebrate their neighborhood. Her positivity became infectious, inspiring others to participate in ways they hadn't considered before. Ultimately, Karen learned that life's unpredictable moments often hold lessons about connection, resilience, and community spirit. By embracing both responsibility and humor, she not only encouraged others to care for their environment but also invited them to find joy in their efforts. In every laugh shared over trash bins or friendly reminders exchanged among neighbors, Karen discovered that true community thrives when people come together, ready to embrace life's messiness and turn it into something beautiful.